Alright, in this video we are going to be taking a look at how the free-to-play Salamangreat deck is going to do in Attribute 4. I've got 3 matches for you and we're going to outline some of the gameplay, but check the description for additional resources including a full in-depth guide on how to build this deck and all the explanations for the ratios and what you want to include and what you want to avoid. And some additional matches where we tested this deck in regular ranked mode against Tearlaments and Swordsoul, and we were still able to win. So let's get into those matches where you can check out how the deck is doing. If they've got a Maxi, we've got the Ash Blossom, but it looks like we're able to start with our 1-card combo. Any card, any engine card is a 1-card combo in this deck. That's why Salamangreat is so powerful and why you want to play it. There's only a few counters to it. You can play through Ash Blossom and Impermanence. The only thing that really stops it is Maxi. But again, if you play 2 Call by the Graves, Nobleman of Crossout, aka Crossout Designator, and 3 Ash Blossom, you should be covered. Anyways, our extension here is pretty standard. Gazelle is the best card in the deck for Salamangreats because whenever a Salamangreat card is sent to the graveyard, whether it's from field, hand, etc., deck, whatever, you can special summon this card to the field, dump an additional Salamangreat card into the graveyard. Obviously, the Salamangreat deck functions off its cards being in the graveyard, and the Parallel Exceed, while it's not a Salamangreat card, whenever a Link monster is summoned, which the Salamangreat deck is nothing but links pretty much, except for maybe 1 or 2 Xyz, you will get to special summon this card to a zone that Link monster points to for free, and then special summon another Parallel Exceed from the deck. This is free material for you to extend with. Using both those Exceeds, we're going to go into Splash Mage, which is a water monster, but it's still a Cyberse. We're going to activate the effect and bring back the Buffalo. Then we're going to activate the Spinny effect, free special summon from the graveyard onto the field if you control a Salamangreat monster. What is this? Again, if you check the deck list video that I posted, you'll know 2 level 3s equals Salamangreat, Mirage, Stalio. We are now locked into fire monsters for the rest of the turn, but that's fine because we've already used the Splash Mage effect, and we won't need to activate anything other than fire monsters on turn 1. Using the Sanctuary, we summon the Sunlight Wolf with its own material. This is going to allow us to get a free spell or trap back from the graveyard. And what are we going to get? The Salamangreat Rage, of course. So we're then going to link off the card that we brought with the Mirage Stalio, which is the Jaguar, and the Splash Mage to make Heat Soul. Heat Soul is pay 1,000 life points, draw a card during my turn, draw a card during your turn, right? So it's really good for that. We're going to set our Omni Negate, which is live because we have a Salamangreat Link monster that's also protected from destruction because we have Vaylantz in the graveyard, and we have non-targeting 2 destruction, activate Rage, target the Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf, and then we are going to be able to destroy 2 cards on the field non-targeting. The opponent reveals they are also on Salamangreat. They activate Circle. We negate that with the Ash Blossom in hand. Now they're going to attempt to activate Mining, pitching a Jaguar. They're down to just 3 cards, so we are actually going to negate that search as well with the Roar. The opponent is kind of running out of resources here, but they do indeed have the Gazelle. And with the Gazelle, again, it's a mirror match. The opponent probably knows I just need a 1-card starter and I can get my combo going. Have I played through all your disruptions yet? No, because they know we brought back the Rage. So with this on field, you could activate this now and pop the 1 card so they couldn't link summon, but that's definitely not what you want to do. You want to actually wait for them to extend a little bit further and then pop the Rage to get 2 cards out of it. So they dumped the Spinny, which means right now they can bring it back for free, but it would get banished when it leaves the field. If they bring back the Spinny, they might attempt to go for a Mirage Stalio. They might attempt to link and go into Vaylantz to get Field Spell. So there's a number of different plays that they might do, but they actually commit their normal summon in the Buffalo, and that's going to trigger us to activate Rage because they have 1 card left in hand. Take these monsters off the field, the Spinny won't be live in the graveyard, and they won't basically have anything to extend off of from here. Set 1 back row, we're not afraid of that at all because we are actually going to draw more cards, bring back traps with the Sunlight Wolf. You can see the advantage that you can generate if you go first especially and set up a really powerful board, but also going second you can break through boards as well with Salamangreat because you can see my opponent, I had to counter I don't even know how many things there. If the opponent resolved one of these things, whether the Circle, the Signet Mining, the Summon of the Gazelle, or the Buffalo link off and discard to draw 2 more cards, those are all things that can get their combo started. So the deck it's kind of like branded in a certain sense, where it's just a lot of engine and you have to try to play through the opponent's interruptions if they have any. And most people are only going to have like 1 to 2 interruptions, right? They're not going to have a bunch of things. Like I said, the only thing that really stops this deck is Maxi, but you're going to see the explosive potential of Salamangreats. I think we already have game on board here after this summon. Yeah. Like, it's ridiculous. Do I go for game, or I hope I don't BM the opponent. No, I'm going to gain the life back for the challenge. Yeah, just go for game. So you can just see, you know, Salamangreat, you go first. You can set up an insane board, lots of draw power, have your hand traps, have your negates on the field, like the Rage and the Roar. And then your monsters are also protected by the Vaylantz in the graveyard. It's just a lot of engine, a lot of power. In this second match, my opponent also opts for me to go first. I lost this coin toss. I don't understand why that's a thing right now, but I'll take it because going first is fantastic when you play a combo deck that has 1-card starters. So the opponent is going to reveal that they are on Imperm, which is going to shut us off from getting Field Spell, but that is totally okay because our hand is insane in terms of getting extensions. We don't even need Field Spell. If we need to commit an extra Salamangreat monster to link off to summon a card with its own material, that won't be a problem. So we're going to go ahead now and see what we dumped here. We got Spinny, we got Foxy, and we've got Jack Jaguar now in the graveyard. Bring back the Foxy, bring back the Spinny, and we're going to make Mirage Stalio. Mirage Stalio is going to detach that Spinny so it doesn't get banished. It's reusable for next turn. And we're going to bring out a Falco. Now we're going to link off, go into Sunlight Wolf, link off Falco and Sunlight Wolf, and bring out Sunlight Wolf again. No Sanctuary Field Spell needed because it was negated with the Imperm. Unfortunately, we don't get value off of the Falco, but again, our hand is so insane to start off with, we don't actually need it. We're now going to activate the Jack Jaguar by returning that second material in the Sunlight Wolf back to the extra deck. So this is now resummonable for next turn if we do want to continue to extend, or if this one gets outed, we have 2 more in the extra deck. That's what I like to do with Jack Jaguar because you have to return a Salamangreat monster to the to the deck. I like to choose your link monsters, recycle them back into the extra deck so that you can continue using them. It's fantastic. Because the Jack Jaguar is summoned to the zone that the Sunlight Wolf points to, we bring back Gazelle from the graveyard with that effect. We are now going to trigger the second effect of Will of the Salamangreat, where you can send it to the graveyard, target a Salamangreat monster summoned with its own material, and special summon monsters up to that link monster's link rating. So we're going to special summon 2 free monsters. It's better than Monster Reborn, and we're going to go ahead and do that now. Then we're going to link off, go into Splash Mage. We cannot use Splash Mage effect because we locked ourselves into fire effect monsters with the Mirage Stalio, but that is totally fine because we don't even need to use this extension because we're just going to go into Heat Soul anyways. Again, you know, we were able to summon another wolf without needing Sanctuary. We're going to be able to summon Heat Leo without needing to use the Splash Mage effect. That's how much engine and recursion you have with Salamangreat. It's absolutely insane. So we're going to go ahead now and bring out the Heat Soul, pay 1,000 life points, draw a card. We have, look at this. This is crazy. So we have Indestructible, essentially, with the Vaylantz in the graveyard, Monster Negate, Omni Negate, and follow up for next turn, right? And Mirage Stalio follow up for next turn if we want as well. And draw power during our opponent's turn. Didn't turn my toggle on, so my mistake. Now I have to chain the activation to the card that they play, but that's totally fine. The opponent reveals that they are on Vaylantz. This is interesting. Haven't actually played against this deck at all, but I think it's like a gambling deck. But the opponent is actually able to do some work here. You're going to see that they're going to be able to trigger both the field spells into our zones here, and we're going to opt to negate the excavation of this card. The opponent basically has no extension. They do out our Mirage Stalio, which is interesting. We're going to now bring out the Gazelle because the monster left the field. They're going to go into Electromite and get some cards to their hand and their extra deck. And we're totally okay with that because there's no further extension that they can do. They try to beat over the wolf. We banished the Vaylantz to save it. And now at this point, I mean, it's GG's. We draw the second Will, which isn't great. We draw another Imperm too, which is kind of crazy. Activate Sunlight Wolf, recur a Salamangreat spell or trap. We bring back the Omni Negate. Now look at this hand. Look how many traps. There's nothing the opponent can do. Like they can't play through this. It's impossible, right? Like Nibiru's not in this mode, so you can't Nibiru me. You know, you could max C if you had it, but I mean, even that at this point isn't going to do much because I think if we wanted to, we probably could go for the OTK, but no, we don't. We opt to take a safer route instead. I think I needed challenges done, so I'm not saying I was BMing, but I needed to activate traps or something like that. So, oh my, and then to top it all off, we go into the Appaloosa. So triple Monster Negate, and Column Negate. double destruction, or no, oh, we should have summoned this with his own material, so we don't actually have the triple destruction off rage, but we do have the Omni Negate. So yeah, I'm just activating the trap. The opponent realizes the game is over, and they're just suiciding. So again, the power of Salamangreat. You can play Appaloosa. You can see how much material you generate, and it is basically just a huge thing on board that negates up to 4 monsters. It's crazy. Let's get on to the final match. Okay, so we actually won this coin toss, so we're going to definitely go first. And our hand is once again absolutely insane. We've got the Ash Blossom for the potential Max C as well, which is great. The nice thing about Salamangreat too is that the deck does everything. It Xyz summons, it Link summons, it special summons, it normal summons, it plays spells, it plays traps, it destroys cards. So you can get all of your daily challenges done just by playing this deck, which is also fantastic. The extension here is kind of mirroring game 1, so I'm not going to really go over it all super in depth, but I think we dumped the trap card with Gazelle, and this is one of the plays you want to do. I'm not going into Mirage Stalio this time, or at least not yet. Activate Splash Mage, activate Sanctuary, bring out another Wolf, and then use Wolf to actually bring back Roar. Don't use the Roar effect of setting it back to the field itself, because then it gets banished. This way, bringing it back with the Sunlight Wolf, you can keep recycling the Roar if you need to. Get the extra draw power. Probably shouldn't have extended into Will of the Salamangreat just to bring another body on board. Didn't need to do that. But I was figuring like, well, if they got Duster, I do have the Omni Negate. I just save it to see what they do. And if they out my board, whatever, I'll just rebuild it anyways. So they reveal that they are on Tenyi, and I'm like, there's no way they're on Swordsoul. They're on that Lyrilusc OTK deck. And this is really unfortunate because this card makes it so their card can't be targeted. If they would have summoned like Assemble Nightingale and had the equip spell, as long as they didn't equip it in the Imperm column, they would have won this game. But, you know, if they had any equip spell, because Assemble Nightingale will be able to attack up to 3 times using the 3 level 1s here. But they opt to go into Recital Starling, and then they're going to trigger the Starling effect, and we're just going to negate the effect because it doesn't target to negate the effect, right? And it's going to destroy, give me a free 2-for-1 there. And then the opponent was just like, all right, that's it. I got nothing. And they opt to surrender. So pretty interesting matches. Salamangreat, very powerful deck for this event. And again, check the description for those resources on how to build the deck and why it's so good.